Hello traders, welcome back to our channel. I recently got a request to cover updates on stock ticker TOON, known as Kartoon Studios. You can always drop me a comment with any stocks you'd like me to cover in a future video. If you're not familiar with Kartoon Studios, they formerly traded under stock ticker GNUS as GNUS Brands. The rebranding took place in June 2023 to reflect the core DNA of the company, making high-quality and socially responsible animated cartoons for children. The company's intellectual property portfolio includes Stan Lee's Superhero Kindergarten, Shaq's Garage starring Shaq O'Neal, and Llama Llama starring Jennifer Garner streaming on Netflix. However, despite producing cartoons with star-studded casts, the stock is currently down over 80% on the year. It could be said that investors are mad at directors. Taking a look at the chart, the stock is currently hovering around historic lows. One thing I will say fundamentally they have going for them is their price-to-book ratio is low at 0.80 in the most recent quarter. Their revenue growth over the past 5 years is a bit sporadic, but if we take their average revenue growth in the past 5 years, it works out to a 215% increase per year. Toon also has a decent price-to-sales ratio at 1x. However, this is where the positive fundamentals dissipate. Toon currently has a negative 85% margin, and while it's improved slightly over the past 5 years, consistently operating with a large negative profit margin can lead to financial distress. Prior to the rebranding, the stock underwent a total of 3 splits, most recently in February. Toon's cash on hand has been steadily declining, while their debt-to-asset ratio has been on the rise. Now you might be thinking, it's a growth stock, it's normal for these types of companies not to make money, right? I mean, it even took Netflix 6 years to become a profitable company. But Kartoon Studios, well, formerly GNUS Brands, has been around for 10 years now and still can't make a profit. They also have a limited audience geared primarily towards young children, compared to larger streaming giants like Netflix, Disney+, Hulu, and HBO, who have content for all ages. At this time, Toon has to rely heavily on partnerships to generate revenue.
Partners?
You're disgusting.
What was that?
Sorry, can't hear you.
I said I guess we can be
Partners?
That said, Toon does have its own highly rated streaming app called Kartoon Channel. Kartoon Studios claims that their platform allows them to be less dependent on third-party networks for distributing content. I would still be extremely cautious going long prior to their annual meeting of stockholders unless there's a major news catalyst or massive improvements in their margins. I think this stock in the near future will continue to decline with the occasional pump and dump. If I was to trade this stock, I'd scalp the pumps to the 20 or 50 moving average with a tight stop loss. Additionally, in a business update published on August 14th, Kartoon Studios penned their Q2 sales decline was primarily due to the anticipation and occurrence of strikes by the Writers Guild of America and Screen Actors Guild in Hollywood. Now, even though Kartoon Studios doesn't work with those unions directly, apparently the strikes resulted in a significant reduction in spending across the entire entertainment sector, causing a near cessation of new content orders. However, despite the ongoing strikes, Kartoon Studios is seeing a revival in orders and are optimistic that upcoming projects will have a favorable impact on revenue in the coming quarters. Well, that's all for today's video. Let me know what you guys think or if you see more potential in this stock. Thank you for watching and remember to trade gingerly.